What's up, guys? This is Nate with Frame This Podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Philippe.
What's up, everybody?
He's our producer and sound engineer.
Happy afternoon.
We have the privilege of interviewing Danny Todd. He is a photographer and fellow podcaster. Danny, would you mind introducing yourself to the audience and kind of explain what it is you do?
Tell us about the Toddcast.
Well, I mean, like you just said, yeah, I have a podcast, the Danny Toddcast, that I've been doing for a little over a year. But before that, a photographer, videographer, and for the last, call it 11 years, 10 and a half, Woo. 11, whatever.
Woo.
With bands like Mice and Men, In This Moment, Warped Tour, all that stuff. So creating content on the road for all those people. And that's kind of what I did, just touring. And now it's just podcasting. And I mean, the world's coming back, so I don't know about my touring, if that's going to come back. Who knows? But
I'm going to knock on wood for you.
Well,
there's no wood around, so I'll use my own.
I mean, I want touring to come back, but
yeah,
it's coming back. I have some friends that I've talked to that they're like, hey man, we got tours planned up. Like everything's good to go. We're just haven't released it yet. And as far as myself, I don't know. I did my last tour 2019 of October, I believe. And after that, I was like, I need to take a break. I was getting burnt out. So,
and then life gives you a break.
I was like, it was pretty good timing. And then I started a podcast, so I've been.
And then life gives you time to podcast. That's kind of the same thing.
I know.
What happened to me and Nate here? I asked Nate to say, "Hey, man, do you want to start a podcast?" And Nate was hesitant at first because he's like, "I don't have enough time." But I'm like, let's talk to artists and creatives and people. Well, that I miss from my life because I don't get to have them a lot anymore except for on this podcast. But Nate's good about talking to a lot of people.
Yeah, and the more I reached out to people like yourself and some of the other guests we've had on, the ability to talk to artists about their field and why they do what they do and how it's helped them in a lot of ways cope with the isolation has been really cool. Have you found like your creative juices more often flow? That sentence was worded terribly.
You're good.
Have you noticed an uptick in your creativity since the quarantine, or like how has that affected your workflow?
I mean, being that I was on like the road at like a month or two at a time, the creativity was always there and you always had to find new ways of doing it. But when I took a step back and obviously the pandemic started, so it was like even more of a forced no touring, even with my decision of pulling back on it. You kind of had to figure out different realms of doing it, of, I don't know, going out and just taking a photo of a freaking flower or something and trying to warp that. But then the podcast started happening. And then, you got to make the promotional thing for Instagram and whatnot. So then I was, for every episode, creating these Instagram posts and for Twitter and all that stuff. So I'd say,
do you know the secret yet for Instagram posts and all the likes? Because we're still learning.
I'm still trying to figure it out because, like,
okay, cool.
What happens is
we're not the only one.
Often.
That feels good. Yeah, we're not the only one.
What happens to my Instagram is when I go on tour, I mean, most of my followers come from, Austin Carlisle posting my photo or Alan posting my photo, and they follow me. And then when I'm off tour and I start posting about, well, now the podcast, but I love to work out, I'm posting like workout stuff, and then like my followers dip, then go back on tour, gain more, come home, falls back down. And especially with the podcast, like these 15-year-old fans of Mice and Men, aren't going to care about me talking to like a mortician. You know, like they like it when I have Alan on, but
that's cool.
You know,
I mean,
so I'm still trying to figure it out.
I honestly, I think a mortician would be awesome to talk to.
We were actually just talking about diversity of guests.
The art of death.
Yeah, there you go.
Can apply to a lot of things.
But yeah, but going with the creativity, I mean, I'm trying. I mean, I'm working at a place right now that, I mean, it's 11 to 7:30, so I don't have too much time. So I get excited when I have a podcast because it gives me something to create.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then on the weekends I try to. So it's the creativity, it ebbs and flows, and sometimes it's there. And you know, I'm still trying to figure that out myself with where I want to take my like creative career as far as like stepping away from tour possibly.
Because it's been 11 years. I mean, on the road, that's tough. It's tough.
Yeah. And
how has that changed for you in those 11 years?
As far as
being a tour photographer, like were you always with, you know, a major band, or did you have to kind of work your way up into more bigger tours and larger tours?
I got pretty lucky. Like I have some fellow photographer friends and videographer friends, whatever, that, you know, they started in the 15 passenger van. But I mean, my first tour was of Mice and Men in a bus.
Wow.
Like 2010, it might have been 2011, like either very, very late 2010. Because I graduated 2010. I don't know what month that was, but who knows, man. But so, you know, I got lucky with the start of my tours. And so, you know, my first tour of Mice and Men in a bus, and then my next tour was with What Was Me on Warped Tour. So it's like,
whoa,
started with big. And obviously, like, as, you know, for example, Mice and Men was the main band that I toured with throughout my 10, 11 years of doing it. And obviously, you know, the shows, as they got bigger, we played bigger venues and stuff like that. And then my last tour was
so
with
you kind of scaled together both your photography and their popularity.
It grew with them. Yeah. And then my last tour with Nothing More was with Ghost, and they were arenas, but like kind of cut in half a little bit, not like Justin Bieber style, like, but pretty big.
That's wild.
But I'd say, as far as it changing,
that's great. That's fantastic.
It's been crazy. But it's also cool to like go on a tour and you keep seeing like certain venues, like, oh, I remember this place. All right, cool. I know there's like a chicken spot down the street, you know, like certain places, you know, it's cool, but also like finding new spots and, you know, going around. But I will say, as far as things changing, when I first started, I was 18 and obviously not old enough. Well, I was old enough to drink, but not legally.
Right.
So it was more of a party. And then you kind of fast forward as the years go on, and I'm working with, you know, In This Moment and Nothing More. It's like, yeah, I'm still having fun, a great time. But now it's, I mean, it's always been a job, but now it's a little bit more of like, okay, like I'm not 18 anymore. I can't slam 2 OG locos and go film a set.
Ooh.
You know?
That first time when you realize you're getting old, that's not fun.
Oh man. I mean, I think last weekend I had like, I'm an IPA guy, so I had 2 IPAs, and I was like, I woke up in the morning, I was like, what? I was like, okay, cool. This is great.
This is what adulting feels like.
Dude, I moved to my new apartment, and a friend of mine helped me move in, and I hadn't had anything to drink since New Year's. And I live within like walking distance.
This guy's trying to be real fucking healthy, so I got to give him that. I got to give him props.
Yeah.
There's like 5 or 6 breweries within, you know, a 4-block radius of where I'm living now. And so we went to, yeah, no, exactly. we went to go check out one of the new places. And I had 2, maybe 3. And the next morning I just felt like absolute death. That was the longest day at work in forever.
Dude, you got to get that. I'm not like intertwined with this company at all, but Liquid IV.
Oh yeah,
Liquid IV, dude, that stuff's so good. I mean, but also you're trying to be healthy.
Is that like Pedialyte for adults?
Also, hey, Pedialyte, they do make it for adults now, and they also have packets.
Yeah, I used to chug those so hard working on the roofs.
what was I gonna say? But I mean, since I getting back into the fitness stuff again, since pandemic, the gym's closed, so I gained that beer gut, so I'm trying to get that away. But some good BCAAs, man, some electrolytes.
Oh yeah,
Woo. Good to go.
Picklebacks all day.
Oh yeah, dude. Destroy picklebacks. Dude, if I had pickle juice right now, I would go take a big swig of that. Glug. Oh yeah.
Vine. I miss you, Vine.
Isn't that surfer dude?
No, the one was like two ounces of vodka, and she just pours the whole thing in the blender, and the Elmo puppet just kind of hits the dishes.
Oh yeah.
Good times.
I have no idea what either of you guys are talking about.
You need to go on a RIP Vine compilation binge there, Nate.
I used to watch them
just
for
make sure to
hours at a time.
Clear your schedule. You'll have a few hours.
Yeah, no, exactly.
That's what happens with me with TikTok. I'm like, just because like for some of my solo podcast episodes I do, I kind of just go through TikTok and like either something I want to talk about or I just pull it for audio. So
nice.
like, I'll just be on the couch just going. And like an hour later, I'm like, I need to go do something. It's bad. And I don't even create on TikTok.
The death of a generation. All thanks to TikTok.
It's terrible.
How did you do like photography like as a hobby before starting to go on tour? How did they select you for that process?
So before I even picked up a camera, I used to play hockey up until like 16, really competitively. And I'm here in Northern California, so I played for the San Jose Junior Sharks.
Okay.
Yeah, juniors.
Damn.
Yeah. But
damn.
I mean, yeah,
almost pro?
Yeah, I know. Well, I was getting close. I had tryouts for a juniors team in Kansas, but then I decided to pick up a camera.
Okay. I think it's because you have all of your teeth.
Yeah. They're not that great. I mean, they're a little bit white, but I mean, I got some root canals and stuff.
He's not missing any teeth. We can't cast him.
Yeah.
They won't take him seriously.
But randomly, I think my first camera was a Lumix FZ20, and I got it my dad bought it from my friend's girlfriend at the time for $80. And it was like a digital, like point and shoot little camera. Because I also used to skateboard. And me and my buddies, we'd go to the park for, after school on Fridays and the weekends and spend hours there just filming like video parts and stuff like that. So I do that. And then I would sometimes like walk to school and I would bring my camera and take photos and just randomly edit them, crank the HDR way too much, like terrible. Like you'd look at these photos now.
Where's your mid-range?
Oh, dude. But
what?
You know what HDR is, Phil?
Yeah, high def resolution.
No, actually.
What is it?
High dynamic range, right?
Yeah.
Contrast for the layperson.
I think so. I don't know. I'd have to Google it.
I just podcast.
Hey man, now you learn something new, man, every day, right?
Yeah, that's what this thing's for. So I can learn things.
HDR, your life is 10 times better now.
Is that I can turn that on and off on my iPhone, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there is, but that is crank that like times like 50, and that was what my photos were looking like.
Okay.
But that was what was in, I guess. I don't know. But
just think early 2000s like grunge rock album cover.
Yeah, grunge. Yeah, for sure. You'll have to pull up a photo when you
tinted a little
after
green.
this podcast.
Oh, okay. All right.
So yeah, like freshman, sophomore year was just random photos, but mainly just because I had the camera to do, hood rat shit with my friends with skateboards. But I started getting into it more. It might have been, I don't know if it was sometime in high school. I signed up for a black and white photography class and I dropped it after like a week or two because it was like the start of the class was like telling me everything I already knew. I was like, this is really boring. So I dropped it. And then later, junior and senior year, I was the senior photographer for the yearbook.
Nice.
So
joke's on you guys.
Yeah, right. It kind of kept growing and growing and growing. And then once I graduated, just started touring. And kind of how that happened was I used to play hockey with Alan from Mice and Men. And then I introduced him and Austin together, and Austin asked him in the band, going on first tour, and they're like, hey, you want to come take photos and video? I was like, yeah, sure. I don't have a camera that does video though, so let's go.
Let's do it.
Do you prefer photo to video?
I think on tour I prefer video because, I mean, the photos, I mean, I enjoy the photography aspect of it, and usually I just crank those out pretty quick. Like, you know, when you're on a tour, you know, you have the same setup pretty much every night with the lights and everything. Just the stage might be bigger or whatnot, so you know what to look for. So like the editing of the photos goes by pretty quick, but the video, I mean, there's just so much more to do with it. I can get the same shot every night, but twist it differently, you know, the focus different. Like, so I would say definitely on tour, I prefer video, but when I'm home, you know, I like to do scenery photos and stuff like that, and just random, you know, I have studio lights and stuff. So I think maybe when I'm home, I kind of prefer photo, but on tour, I'd say video.
It definitely matches the energy and like the intensity of a show doing video, and be able to like run around and grab different shots behind the drummer, you know, right up in the guitarist's face, stuff like that. If you're allowed to do that, I don't know. Are you allowed to do that as a videographer for a band? Did they give you like, okay, man, you can step between here and here, just don't come in my face because I'll probably kick you or something?
I think I've gotten pretty lucky with the bands that I've toured with. I mean, in this moment versus a Mice and Men, where I've been friends with the Mice and Men guys for years, you know, I'll be filming Phil, and he'll just flip me off or smile or something, you know, or Tina would look at me, and but within this moment, it's more of a production. It's different, and I've only been on one tour with them.
They're a little more theatrical,
but like I don't, you know, like maybe two of the guys I can kind of get closer to them, but you know, it's a little bit of a different dynamic. But I'd say it kind of just, you know, if you know someone better, they're probably more likely to let you closer, especially if they're, you know, into the whole content stuff. You know, some people are like, I know we need you out here to get content and promote shows and stuff, but also
just don't you fucking shove that thing in my face.
I don't care. Send me the photos after, because I want to post and thirst trap people, you know. But yeah, right. There's
that's a really interesting dynamic, because I forget when it occurred to me. This was a couple years ago, I think, that like something happened. I think it was meeting Jeff from Norma Jean. It just kind of like humanized, you know, quote unquote celebrities, and the idea that you as a touring photographer, yeah, it's work, but you're also like with your friends. So like you have to take into account like the relationship, you know. It's like you can get closer to your friends just simply because you guys are all, you know, close. You know, it's a working relationship just like anything else, which is a really cool.
I don't want to derail the conversation for a second,
but
you're good. were you had to have been with Mice and Men in 2011, correct?
Yeah.
So were you at Warped Tour up in Maryland by any chance?
I have my laminates here.
Hell yeah.
Why, Phil? Were you in Warped Tour in 2011?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was on the side of the stage for Mice and Men, and I think I saved that show. Single-handedly saved that show.
Somewhere in here.
Did you give somebody a shirt?
Oh,
no.
Speaking of
Austin,
Locos.
Oh,
This is my very first tour laminate.
Nice.
Four Loko, baby. 12, 13.
Yeah, and they literally have a song called OG Loco off the first record.
OG Loco, yeah. Off Mice and Men, self-titled. Still.
You know what? Actually, I don't think so.
Damn.
I don't know. I can't find.
If you were there, we would have seen one another.
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah.
If you were filming that, if you were recording or filming or taking pictures that day, oh, look at that. Oh yeah, the swipe.
So my dumbass like was like, when they asked me to send the photo, I was like, all right, this is that at the time was my favorite photo. And I was like, I'll send that. And like, I definitely got made fun of it. Like, obviously, like if a girl saw it, they're like, oh, what's up, cutie? What's up? You know, like, what's up with that jaw? Hey, what that jawline do, baby? But then these are my next ones. So this is 13. I'm on a roof.
Nice.
And then this was with Miss May I 2012. So you can see that I learned from my mistakes.
Nice. So we would have seen each other, but also Austin didn't have a belt and his pants kept falling down.
Oh,
so he was asking everybody, "Hey, you got a belt? Hey, you got a belt?" I literally heard that and I was like, "Take mine, sir."
That's funny.
I just need one picture with you and my belt. And I took it and he's holding up the belt. So if you want that, I will send that to you.
Yeah, I mean, so I was with What Was Me, so I wasn't with actually with Mice and Men. But you know, homies on a tour, you all see each other's set. So there's a chance that I was there
world
at that stage.
Small world.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy, man. As I get older,
I didn't want him to have a shitty set. Him losing his pants halfway through.
Yeah.
Speaking of shitty sets, seeing as being a touring photographer is, a job, and it has its ups and downs like any other job. Even though it's what you want to do, like you're doing what you enjoy for a living, like how did that come into play when, there were days when you just didn't want to go into work and you still had to crank out content because it's your job?
I mean, alcohol definitely helps.
All right.
On the back end or leading up to it?
Dude. I mean, this isn't really I'm not airing anyone's dirty laundry, but before sets, I mean, you can ask any band or even go see a band and if you're with them before, usually there's some pre-show drinks or even drinks on stage, like a stage rig. Obviously that's sometimes, you just need to get a little loose, a little loosey goosey, slam a little, shot of Jameson or two and go. But I mean, if you love this is gonna be so cheesy, but whatever, dude.
It's true. If you love
what you do,
it's true.
If you love what you do,
it's true.
Yeah. If you love what you do,
we need a dripping cheese animation, just kind of like.
Oh, dude, yeah. I
like the when you die in James Bond with the blood. We should just do that with cheese, just like.
Yes. That's pretty funny.
We've been jammed.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you love what you do, it's easier to want to do it every day. But I sometimes, even when you love something, even podcasting, I love it so much, just like my passion for photography and content creating. But there's some days where I'm either I'm hungover and don't want to do it, or have nothing to talk about, and I'm I really don't want to do this. But it's you have to be consistent with everything, and if you just keep it consistent, the work will come through. You might not have a great night because you're just not in the zone, but I mean that's what you're there for. You're getting paid, so you kind of just have to be hey, suck it up, stop being a little biatch, and go inside. It's literally an hour, or depending on where the band is, if they're direct support or a headliner, 30 to an hour of your day that you're getting paid pretty well. And all you have to do is go spend an hour of your night doing what you love. I mean, sometimes
you kind of have to remind yourself why you do it. It's you love doing this, just get out there and do it.
But that's kind of the thing why I kind of decided to take a step back. I don't know if I'm going to be done from tours completely. I mean, it all depends. I'm about to move. Oh, dude, I don't know. I mean, the money is great, but I don't know. I just had my good buddy Bryce Hall on the podcast a week or two ago, and he's been doing weddings and stuff, and he's the money's great. It's awesome, but also once tours come back, I'm not doing that anymore.
Just imagine if the lead singer was someone who'd planned to play that show for their entire life, and if anything went wrong, it's on you.
Oh, and you better get that first kiss that only happens once.
Ooh, yeah.
Yikes. But yeah, I don't know. I'll figure it out. Cause like I said, I'm moving, I'm going to try and look for a content job. Sorry, what?
Still in California?
No, actually Post Falls, Idaho.
Right on.
Word.
Oh yeah. A change of pace.
Just okay.
Yeah.
As a thank you gift for being on the show, I'll send you a potato.
I think I'll be okay. I mean, I can even just go to Five Guys and they have Idaho potatoes. But I mean, if you want, I mean, that's cool.
There you go.
Damn, I might have to get a burger after this. I'm famished.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting for dinner. I'm so excited. This is like in the middle of the afternoon because burgers for dinner sounds awesome right now.
I had a burger last night.
How do you?
Sick.
Nate's heard me go to the bathroom a lot today, so just keep that in mind.
I'm on the food train of thought right now. So when you show up to a new city to shoot, how high on the priority list is finding like the local spot?
Oh, it's like food? The first thing you do when you wake up.
Like, and how do
you literally lay in your bunk and you're like going on your phone and you're like,
where am I going for food?
You're looking at like Postmates and Uber Eats and all that stuff. And you're like, what's close? Can I please tell me I can walk there? Cause I don't want to pay the delivery fee and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But usually you get pretty lucky. But there's some shows where, I mean, I've had an Uber driver or Uber Eats or something like that. He had to like drive 45 minutes total to get me this like $10
Thai sandwich.
Food. Ooh, yeah. Oh, it was like Thai food, and I ended up hating it because it tasted like shit. But I think it's a high priority. It's a high priority, I would say.
Are there any highlights from your touring career of like when you're in XYZ city, like you should definitely check out, you know?
Wow, I'm not going to be able to name any names because I'm just so bad with it. But, you know, obviously, you know, when you're in Maine, you got to get that lobster. I don't know any places. I'm not going to be any help. Philly, you know, you got to get that Philly cheesesteak. I don't know. You go anywhere and you just like know what's, you know, like Texas,
brisket.
Kansas, barbecue, you know, like it's all about just finding the good spots. And unfortunately, I'm terrible with remembering those names. But like if I go to a place like Philly, and we're like close to where we usually go, I'll be like, okay, I know where I'm going. It's like something like, it's a weird name. It's a spot called like Ish Kabibbles or something. It's a Philly cheesesteak spot.
Yeah, last time I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but I drove up to New York last December, and on the way back down, we decided to stop in Philly. And I was asking all of my friends from Philly, I'm like, "Where's the best place to get cheesesteaks?" And they all said something different.
Of course, of course.
There's one like Geno's or something.
Geno's,
and then there's like the other famous one that's always on like diners, dines, and whatever. Triple D, whatever.
Triple D,
boy.
It's like Pat's and Geno's are like right across the street from each other, and you either like one or the other. Like there's no middle ground. So
there's definitely a feud.
Did you each get one from one of them and then decide which one was better?
Yeah, no, we got one.
Okay,
split it and got another one and split it, and then
nice.
Did you get to stop at the Mutter Museum at all?
No, it's just dine and dash.
The Mutter Museum.
Like for Tough Mutters?
No. The Mutter, Mutter, I believe it's called. It's the American Museum of, surgery. Hold on, I'm gonna have to look this up because I'm gonna get all.
Hey, I will say though, Paris has really good McDonald's.
Well, yeah, French fries are from France. We all know that.
That was where I got the call from Jay to go to the Eiffel Tower. I was in McDonald's.
Here's the full hell yeah.
Yes.
Go to the Eiffel Tower and get you some American product.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Also, did you get accosted by all the guys trying to sell you the Eiffel Tower trinkets?
Oh, for sure. I did buy one though.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Well, because no, it was at like a kiosk thing. It wasn't like the guy with a JanSport backpack
and the huge chain of that. He's got them on like a circular thing. Hey,
oh yeah.
Bye. It's the Mutter Museum of the College of Physicians of Philadelphia.
Okay.
No idea what that is.
They got some interesting exhibits in there, like a two-headed baby.
Interesting.
Oh, so it's on like weird like biological anomalies and stuff?
Yes.
Okay,
like
cool.
oddities and stuff like that in there. Yeah.
I can get into that.
We're going there someday, Nate. We're going to go there someday. We're going to check it out.
Maybe on our trip up to Niagara Falls.
Yes.
Yeah. So I figured food was pretty high on the list. Do you have as everything becomes habit on a tour, do you have like a checklist of everything, like a pre-flight checklist almost, as you get ready for your day?
Maybe in a way, like maybe without even realizing it. It might just kind of be like, I mean, usually every day your tour manager has a day sheet, and it basically just tells you
That's a
when
good tour manager.
Yeah. Sometimes they don't, and then you're like, hey, where is the sheet?
Where's the sheet?
Let's go. I don't know. What time is lunch? I don't know. There's no day sheet. So you'd make fun of them or something like that. But I'd say without really knowing it, I would kind of internally make a checklist, but it's more going off of what time is, sound check and
Load in.
VIP meet and greet and load in. It's all usually the same time, but maybe we're in a place that has these cool buildings and I need to get some scenery shots. And I'll be like, okay, when I wake up, I'm going to set my gimbal up. I'm going to go get some cool shots, or we're going to be somewhere and we're going to walk to get food. And I forget where we were, but Tino wanted to go to this famous record shop. So he told me the day before, he's like, hey, we're going to wake up and I'm going to go to this record shop. I'd like you to come with and make a little video for it. So like, then I wake up and I'm like, okay, this is what I need because we're going here. We're doing this. And then basically the rest is, it's just repeating everything every day. So like showtime, it's kind of the same thing, but you might already have like an idea of like, okay, like tonight I'm going to try and get this certain shot, whether it's photo or video, or like, I need like a few more clips of Tino. I'm going to kind of focus more on Tino. But as far as like, I don't really write anything down, but in a way I'd say, yeah, there's some sort of like a checklist
formula, or
make sure your batteries are charged and your lens is not fogged up or something.
Do you like so when I'm working on a piece, every new piece I do, I try to have like a thing in it, or like a technique or a texture or like a composition, and like if I get that done right, at least mostly, I consider like the piece a success, even if as a whole it didn't quite live up to what I see in my head. So when you're, like you said, trying to find a shot that you really need to get, or, trying to focus on a certain player more than others, like after a show is done, what about that show like will make you happy that it was a good night? Do you have anything like that? If not, it's not that big of a deal. Just curious.
I mean, obviously it's if you get a cool shot, like, there's one that stands out to me is, there's a shot that I got, a video shot with a really like wide angle. I think it's actually I don't even know if I have it. It might be here. Yeah. Oh, wow. That is dusty. It is a 10 millimeter. Yeah, it's a fisheye. There's sometimes words are hard, and I don't know why I have a podcast sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all you need to know. There's a shot that I got of Aaron Polly of Mice and Men. He's on one of those metal risers, and he has long hair, and he had one leg up, and he was headbanging really hard, and his hair was whipping and hitting my camera, and it looks sick. I shot it in 120 frames per second, and I was just changing the speeds and going slow and whipping, and yeah, my hands are doing weird shit, I know. But that's a shot that as soon as I got it, I was like, I could pack up right now and go into the bus and chill for the rest of the night. I'm good.
I got what I needed.
This to the band,
what I
I'm
needed,
good.
yeah.
So yeah, there's nights where you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I got that shot. I'm so stoked. And then sometimes it's just the run of the mill.
Nothing went wrong, so I'm happy.
And stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, some nights, you're pumped and you're amped, and some nights you're like, well, that was another show. Great. Glad I didn't get kicked in the face by a crowd surfer. That's cool. Sick.
Have you just had to get used to that you're going to get hit by somebody crowd surfing, so just live with it? Or you're always just hyper aware?
I'd say in the beginning, when it was smaller venues, yes. Because sometimes there was like literally not really a barricade. Like some venues, it's just like this. Like I know, well, it's the old Masquerade in Atlanta. but the upstairs, they called it the heaven because it was upstairs. Makes sense. Their photo pit was like this, I don't know, like a gap in the, like from the stage to where like I don't know, like they had this barricade, but there was like this little inset, like maybe 2.5 feet by like maybe another 1.5 feet. So you're like crouched down low, and like, you know, the band's like the bassist balls around my face because I'm that close. And then like I have this girl screaming in my ear, like, so like certain venues, yeah, but when you start getting into the bigger venues, I mean, the Nothing More Ghost Arena tour, I mean, from stage to barricade, I mean, there were certain spots where it was like 10-15 feet.
Wow.
But I definitely had a girl fall on top of my flash, and like luckily it didn't break, but it got kinked up a little bit. But luckily I mean, I've gotten hit by someone, like not like on top, like they fall on top of me, but like they fall and like into my leg, or they get dropped by a security guard, which I've seen too many times, and they roll and hit me, and then I give them the look of like what are you doing?
I don't care about myself, but if you hurt any of my gear that I have to replace,
oh yeah, I'm gonna
death stare.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna stone cold stunner you right here in front of thousands of people.
Oh yeah, you see this flash? It's going in your ass.
I will make it fit.
Yeah, this is an 18 or older show. Don't come after me.
We do not condone any insertion of camera flashes in anyone at any time.
Yeah,
but if that situation arises,
but yeah,
that's how some kid got their superpowers. Their name is Lightning Bug.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, wait, yeah, and that's how the Flash was created.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No,
superhero.
Yeah, Barry Allen was at a show and the cameraman shoved his flash up his butt.
Yeah, he fell off he was crowd surfing, and the security guard didn't get to him in time, and he fell onto a photographer, and his flash went up his ass. And
rumor is he's still running.
Yeah, Energizer Bunny, man,
gotta go fast. That's hilarious.
New superhero origin story.
I know. I'll pitch it. Yeah, it'll be on Vice.
Isn't Cracked doing original content now? Like original shows?
Cracked?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's like a YouTube channel.
Why do I not know that?
It's almost like it's like BuzzFeed, like a BuzzFeed type of.
Oh, okay. It's like a network
media source.
Like
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
They did this really funny video on the origin of sarcasm. It's like all of these Romans chilling, and this one dude like says something sarcastically, and none of the other guys are like, "Why is that funny?" And he's just like, "Oh, I'm trying out this new like figure of speech. It's called sarcasm." You know, and they're like, we don't get it. And he's like, exactly.
Yeah, what's up?
Pretty funny.
Sarcastus Maximus, was that his name?
No, but that's gold.
I mean that is his name.
What are you trying to be? Some Sarcastus Maximus?
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. Like
show's over. Thank you.
Yeah.
Feels like mic drop. I'm out.
Yeah, end on a high note.
Yeah, that's crazy to like have to protect your gear almost more than yourself because it costs a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
Since you're on the workout kick, find a Muay Thai trainer. You want to talk about striking? There you go.
Oh yeah.
You'll be able to defend yourself at any time.
I did MMA for a month, and then I couldn't afford it anymore, so I stopped. But it was humbling. For sure. Yeah. I got my ass handed to me by this girl that was training for an actual fight. But it was cool. It was cool.
Step one, don't train with somebody who actually has skin in the game.
Oh, no, that's the person you want to train with because they'll beat your ass every day and make you sweat and make you work for it.
Yeah, that's my, when I pay my car off, I want to get a MMA membership because it is very expensive.
Yeah, well, I guess where you go, I don't know, but I just like I couldn't justify spending. I don't know if it was. I think it was like bi-weekly, like $150, and this was like touring, so it's like I was taking a little like couple months off from touring, or I don't know what the situation was, but you know, like the well is drying up, I need
really
food.
fast.
I mean, luckily I was living with my family, so like, but like I want to go get In-N-Out sometime. Like I got to buy that myself.
Burgers,
like
beer, and then MMA is like down here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Burgers, beer,
Battlestar Galactica.
I was gonna say burgers, beer, Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, HBO. What's the new one?
Pornhub.
Peacock.
Yeah.
Would you say Pornhub? Oh, okay.
Well,
OnlyFans.
Well, hey,
I'm just
if
throwing things
they were
out
doing
there,
like
man.
a free, like when quarantine happened, I remember a friend told me they were doing free like
free trial membership.
free memberships for a bit.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then they lock them in.
You got to give the people what they want.
Oh yeah.
So do you? Phil and I were just talking about this earlier, because he was like, "Man, I might have to bite the bullet and get Final Cut," and I was like, we can just upgrade my Adobe subscription and you'll get everything,
1000%.
For Premiere. Were you editing on that level to the point where like you had to go get the box with the discs and the serial code? Did you miss that or like get grandfathered in?
I used to. Like this was like when I was in high school and stuff. My dad actually bought, I don't know, he had Photoshop, Illustrator, and he might have had one other thing. But like it was definitely like $1,000 and you can only put it on 3 computers. But at the very start, I think I was using Final Cut Pro. And then I found I forget who it was, but someone gave me a code for Premiere. But
They
back in the
found
day
it in
when
a subreddit, I promise you.
Yeah, but back in the day when a Premiere was like, now it's dark, like all the colors are dark. But this was when it was like gray, light gray. So like, and I couldn't even figure it out, and like exporting it was just dog shit. And then I think I went back to Final Cut. But
so what do you use now?
I use Premiere.
Okay.
And After Effects, and
Industry
I have
standard.
I pay like $50 for the entire, like any app I want. I guess I can have it. I don't need all of them, but
right.
I think that made the most sense. So
right.
Yeah, I've been using it for, I can't remember when I first got it. I think.
Yeah, I don't know how long they've been doing it.
I could go back and look and see.
Because I remember
time.
like, a couple of years ago, I was looking to get Illustrator because I needed to start taking design classes. And I was like, this is so expensive. Or you can sell your soul to us for $20 a month and get everything. And I was like, yeah, you can make a valid argument.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's good, but
I can just imagine like being on tour and having to buy the updated version and needing to like install it with a new serial number.
Yeah, that'd be. I think I'd quit.
On Panera's Wi-Fi.
On Panera.
Yeah, right. But yeah, definitely, I would say Premiere is the way to go. I mean, well, I'm not sure. I think Bo from Bless the Fall, I think he uses Final Cut because they've updated it so much that it looks pretty legit.
Yeah,
I think it's just a little bit more user friendly. I mean, it's professional, but like that's iMovie, Final Cut, Premiere, and then there might be like some other program,
DaVinci Resolve.
But
isn't that the free one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that then you have to like upgrade, and then it works really well with. They have this huge desk that has like all the knobs and stuff. Oh, believe me, I drooled over that a few times.
Oh, I'm all about Blackmagic design products here, and it worked. I love them.
But now I'm like,
I love them.
Now I'm like, I don't need to upgrade any of my. Well, I might switch because when I move, I'm gonna start filming my podcasts, and I need to get either because I have a Sony A6300, and I mean it works pretty well apparently for doing like hooking it to your computer and recording on like an OBS? OBS.
Like a screen recorder.
I did it. Yeah, I have all that stuff. I just got to figure it out. But there's also potential of getting a camcorder. Like Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
All those people, they use like camcorders. I don't need to get another Sony, but we'll figure it out.
We're rocking a JVC right now. That's what you're viewing us through.
Okay.
1920 by 1080. Boy.
Yes, we're not on 4K yet because we really don't need to be in 4K.
Yeah, especially for, I mean, it's.
But
I don't think I've filmed sometimes in 4K for shows.
Mhm.
Like going back to if I have like a set video clip I want to get,
Mhm.
I'll be like, okay, this is what I want to get. Okay, so I'm gonna film in 4K, so I can like zoom in and rotate the clip 360 degrees and
Yeah.
then pull back out, or it gives more depth. But I don't shoot everything in 4K. But
Right.
who knows? I mean,
Right.
computers are getting so powerful now that
Yep.
when I upgrade, if I shoot 4K, maybe it might add another depth to my stuff. But
Right.
as far as upgrading, like, I mean, right now I have the Rodecaster Pro. It's working pretty well. Who knows? I mean, when I have my whole like studio room in my house that I'm going to be moving to, it's going to be all done up, and I'm excited to upgrade stuff. Like, I know I have a nice boom arm now, but like I'm going to upgrade and get the newer stuff. I mean, I upgraded this mic from the pod mics. Like, that was amazing. I was so happy about that. But now it's like I'm so gear heavy and excited about podcasts.
Dude, that's my life.
I mean,
we should definitely chat about stuff. But one thing I must say, if you're gonna get a video switcher, get an A10 Mini, or even
I heard about that. Yeah,
go for the Pro. That's what I'm using right now to interface with Zoom, and like the amount of stuff you can do, and like you can produce literally a whole show on the fly. And it's
cool.
awesome. It's awesome. We haven't gone live yet. We're planning on going live at some point where we can do all that stuff, overlays, lower thirds. So yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, that's something I got to look into, because I want to go live, but I might just be like, for example, like Chris D'Elia has a podcast and he just has, I think, one camera set up. But, obviously, like, it would be nice to have multi-camera, like 2, but that just might be because I feel like if I'm doing, was the A10
Mini.
So it's like, if I'm doing that, like cameras. Even sometimes, yeah, that's nice. Like with this Rodecaster, it has 8 MIDI controllers.
Nice.
Sometimes even when I'm going to press one, I could still be talking to a podcast guest or something. But like just the time to look over and like make sure I'm hitting the right one kind of takes me away from it. So I'm like, I wonder if I'm just going to have 2 cameras and then just offload them into a folder and edit those in.
Yeah, just nest them and edit it in multi-camera.
Rather than flip it. I don't know. So I'll have to figure that out.
So much to figure out. There's so like the Blackmagic design products, there's so many options you can do. You can literally use the hardware itself, or they have the software control where you can have a computer in front of you and you can hit either cut or dissolve.
Oh.
And
that's pretty cool. Okay, cool.
I wish I could turn the camera right now and show you, like, here's the A10 Mini and then here's the software interface. But
we could if we had multi-camera.
I know. That's what I'm trying. That's the goal. That's the goal.
So wait, I have a question for you guys regarding the podcast stuff,
sweet.
and then I just
interview.
Then you can go back. You can.
I love when we're asked questions about podcasting, because we're like, yeah, we'd love to share what we know and like try to help other people.
So I don't know. I think I have a buddy. He has a podcast called Bad News, and he does seasons as well.
Shout out Bad
You
News.
guys are doing seasons, right?
Yeah,
we're doing seasons.
So I gotta ask. I mean, because I like for myself, I'm not doing seasons. I just do at least one every week. I've always been curious, and I've never. I think I tried Googling it, but sometimes you Google something and it's like Wikipedia, and people are just typing stupid shit.
Yeah.
What was the reason behind wanting to do seasons, like scheduling, or just how you wanted to roll with it?
Yeah, definitely scheduling.
A lot of it was scheduling.
Okay.
Because we live
so you
2
can,
hours
bang
apart.
Out like a couple.
Yeah. So there would be times where we would like schedule 3 interviews in a weekend.
Then I'd jump down to Richmond, or now Nate's coming up here to Fairfax, right outside DC.
So the other idea was to give us like a break in the middle to kind of recoup and assess how the first one went. So we're in our 2nd season now. We had a 2-month gap between the 2.
Yeah.
And then we'll do like a 1.5 gap between 2 and 3. It also kind of, to me, it fit naturally from like a marketing standpoint. You could like gear up for one and then advertise it. We didn't drop all of the seasons at once. So we did the, still bi-weekly, but in clusters of 8, and then the break. So we did like we didn't do the Netflix route where they dropped like the full season at once.
But which a lot of the time you hear like the podcasting websites, like drop a couple at a time so you get, a lot of people listening at once, which it's sort of affected, I guess, us like trying to jump up the charts real fast, but we're not here to just jump up the charts real fast. We're really trying to take time and learn the craft and learn how to do it right and try to add new things as we go along season to season. So for our first season, we recorded on Zoom, but we didn't release video sodes with it, what we like to call video sodes. So this will be it'll be a episode airing in a season. We'll also release it as a video sode too on YouTube.
Okay.
Because if someone wants to watch instead of listen, they can do that too and maybe see our beautiful faces.
And then, there's the whole monetization from YouTube, which is cool. That's why I'm also excited to start filming because I need to make some money.
We're not there yet.
Even myself. But
I mean, if you got the followers and you got people who want it, do it, buddy. We're just not
gotta build it. Yeah,
we're just not there, and I'm not okay with monetizing something that I can't put like 100% of my effort into all the damn time. So I just like to keep doing what I love doing and talking to people like you and other people, and just if people really enjoy it, awesome, and if they learn something from it, awesome. But I'm not really interested in monetizing things yet.
It also helped us.
Nate, what do you think?
But monetization?
Yes.
He's like, I want to make some money. Let's go. I'm just kidding.
I mean,
I'm not opposed to I'm definitely not opposed to making money. But at the same time, I really want to work on giving people and giving our listeners the best product we can before we start going, hey, can you pay us for this?
Well, no, I think as far as monetization goes, like with YouTube, if once you reach a certain point, they pay you per view.
Yeah.
But another way to do monetization. Yeah, exactly. And if a second way to do it, from my perspective, is if money follows where the eyes go. And so if there's enough people watching us or listening to us, then like paid promotions where like we get sent samples, and like we get a percentage of whatever, like let's say Liquid Death sent you, a pallet of water to, just kind of drink.
Todd 10 at checkout.
Yes. What was that again?
Todd 10.
Todd 10 at checkout.
Off at checkout. What's up?
At checkout.
Anyways,
there
sorry,
you go.
Continue.
He is sponsored.
I just wanted to be annoying there for a second.
Third tier paid promotion.
Bang bang.
Dude,
Cactus Jack would say.
I really want to do a fake Wayne's World like product placement, paid promotion video. I think that would be the funniest thing in the world.
I always wanted to be sponsored by Your Mom's Basement because that's where we all went to hang out as teenagers and maybe lost our virginity. So there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, make do like a Patreon called Your Mom's Basement.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I tried to come up with something clever to say, but I couldn't. Anyway, yeah, that's some ways to monetize, but we haven't thought about that yet. So
yeah, I'm working on it. I have a Patreon that I'm working on, but it's definitely soul sucking when you look at it and you still have 0 Patreons. I'm like,
you'll get there,
but
you'll get there.
It's all growing. Like everything. I'm just growing, and I guess just keeping it consistent and just getting better. It's crazy. Like I was listening back to, the episode with Alan Ashby, and that was like episode 47 or something. And, looking back or listening back and then listening to more recent episodes, it's cool to like see the progression and like, but also still you suck at this, get better at that. You say this a lot. Stop drinking carbonated Liquid Death. That helps. Drink the regular one. Because, dude,
sounded like Rick Sanchez over here. Morty.
Burp.
We've done that before during recording because Nate was on a seltzer water kick for a while, so we were doing that. You still am. So you have to go. You have to lean back.
Oh yeah.
Get back on the mic.
When I do solo ones, I'll recently I'm trying not to. But if I have a guest on, I can, because I can just easily mute my channel if I feel like if they're talking and I have to belch or something.
Yeah.
Sometimes, depending on the guest, like if it's my homie, oh dude, I'll even rip a fart. I don't care. Let's go.
Yep.
Like it's a podcast that's serious and funny, but like, yeah, it's just weird. It's learning and
growth.
It's exciting.
That's the name of the game.
How do you balance like inspiration with doing your own thing? You know, because like, what's the quote? Like a true artist like steals. No.
Borrows.
A fake artist borrow, a true artist steals, like something like that.
There you go.
As far like for the podcast or photo,
both. Like if you have different approaches or the same.
Can you ask the question again? I was definitely like trying to think of something to say, and
so
then I definitely forgot the question.
It has been said that a good artist borrows, but a great artist steals. How do you apply that to your photography and podcasting?
Okay.
And scene. Thank you.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good read. I appreciate that.
Tobias did it better.
Fuga.
I try not to copy other people's styles. I would say, especially with podcasting, like no one can be Joe Rogan. You know, like Joe Rogan is Joe Rogan.
Nobody has the time to sit for 4 hours and talk to somebody.
There on my birthday, my first birthday episode, I had a podcast with my best friend, and that was like 3 hours. And then I had right after that, literally another one with my mom and him, and it was like 2 hours. So like I can do the long form, but now I'm trying to keep it an hour. But like, you know, no one's Theo Vaughn. Theo Vaughn is Theo Vaughn. Like everyone's podcast is the same, or not the same. It's different. And there are people out there that are trying to be like the Joe Rogan and stuff, but you just can't. So like I'm trying to figure out, I guess,
just
who
be
I
yourself
am within this. But that's also hard. I mean, I've even had my dad listen to episodes where I've talked to one person, and the way I talk is different than someone else. Both friends, but just two different worlds. Like a touring buddy, I might talk to different. So it's like trying to figure out, kind of keeping it who I am. I mean, I'm still being myself, but there might be just some different ways of talking.
So it sounds like there's like a differentiation in like what episodes you're trying to do. One episode you're trying to like figure out something about somebody, or learning about them. Then other times you just want to hang and chill.
Yeah, but that's the weird thing about the way I'm doing my podcast is like it's not driven in one realm. Of course, like the majority of my, like, starting off, like, most of my friends are in the touring world. So yeah, that did help for getting downloads and plays, but also I'll talk to the mortician, I'll talk to obviously photographers. That's something else, and then I'll get drunk and talk to myself. Like there's different things, I'll do.
I'm always available to do that.
Yeah. Oh, we should. I mean, I'm going to be, well, he's in a band, but Mark from Nothing More, he has a podcast and he talks about beer. So we're going to trade off on podcasts. And
how is a dude that jacked talk about beer?
Oh, so you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Mark?
He's absolutely shredded.
Oh, dude.
He's like Ryan Gosling from Eat, Pray, Love. Like, no.
Well, I mean,
no. It was Crazy Stupid Love. Thank you very much.
Yep.
I mean, I think
Ryan Gosling. No, he's not. He's a chiseled god.
But yeah, and I think it kind of also translates in a way to like the creative of, photography and videography. There's a lot of people out there that see what looks cool on the internet and they try to be that. But it's all about kind of just being your own self. Of course, you can take things from other people, but twist it yourself. Like, for example, and I've talked to Bryce about this on the podcast when I had him on first. I don't know when it was, but when I first started, and I was on tour with Jeffree Star back when he did music, and he was on tour with a different band. And this was when I was into like these really weird, like glitch effects. And he saw that I was doing that. And I think he probably got the same exact pack that I bought and was doing the exact same thing. And by the way, Bryce, if you're listening, I love you. This is no slam. He brought it up to me, and Jeffree he called him out on it. I was like, I don't really care. Like, in a way, it's kind of
give credit where credit's due.
The person making the glitch effect packs.
So yeah, all right. But
or talk about other people have used them that you really like their work, and morph it into whatever you want to do and call your own.
Yeah, but he got called out on it, and he learned, and he felt bad, and he wasn't trying to be wrong or anything, but he saw something he liked and he wanted to use it. And later on, when we talked on the podcast, like we're talking about it, and it was a learning experience for touring and all that stuff. But like sometimes you need to maybe just try something completely different. As much as you want to do something that this other person's doing, maybe give it some time for them to fall out of that trend, and then you can pick it up and twist it yourself. But like definitely being yourself and finding your own like creative style is a huge thing. I mean, there's so many creative creators in the world. It's going to be hard to be the only one, but that's the hard part. And that makes like, artists like fucking Van Gogh. There's no other Van Gogh, but there's people trying to be him because they know what sells and what's cool.
Right. I don't know if anybody wants to be Van Gogh, but go for it.
His style. That was just the first thing that came to my head.
Yeah.
I don't know. Da Vinci, dude. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, if you want to just copy someone, go for it. I mean, I don't really care. It's not my career. But I don't know. It's just finding what the trends are and what you like. And sometimes if you drink, have some drinks. Maybe go push the limit a little far and get a little crunk. If you smoke weed, get a little stoned. If you like mushrooms, sure, go for it. Find something, or like, I don't know, go on a walk and get lost or something and try and figure out weird shit to do. I don't know. Sometimes it's not going to work, but yeah, I don't know.
How do
Long
you
ass winded?
Yeah,
answer.
That's super insightful. Just
there is no try.
Do your own
Only
thing.
do.
There you go.
Yoda.
No, it's Broda.
Oh, it's Broda now?
Yeah.
Hashtag Broda?
Yeah. Because he's our insightful.
Hashtag baby Broda?
How do you like...
I'm baby Yoda.
Oh, yes.
Are you?
No.
Oh, I'm at a loss
I
for
don't know where I
words.
was
If y'all
going
just
with
completely...
I just like that baby Yoda thing on Weekend Update that what's his name does. Shit. I'm forgetting right
Who
now.
does Weekend Update?
SNL Weekend Update.
Oh.
They bring out baby Yoda.
Oh.
And he's talking like he's like a 30-some-year-old hip hop rapper.
Oh,
Pete
no.
Davidson?
No, it's
Love that guy.
Pete
That's
Holmes?
great.
no.
Speaking of Pete Davidson, I just showed him the Suicide Squad trailer with Pete Davidson and
The red band,
John
yeah.
Cena and
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen
Flula
it.
Borg, and
I've seen it.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. John Cena looks hilarious in that.
he is a great like in like comedy, that like the straight man. He's a great just like deadpan character.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How do you like?
Why is he shooting people? Why doesn't he just give them the
He probably will.
Yeah.
5-knuckle shuffle?
And then Nathan
Yeah,
Fillion's
yeah.
this dude that can like rip his arms off and they regrow.
Really?
Yeah,
Cool.
that's his character.
Wow.
No arms man.
No arms, man.
That's funny.
Yeah.
What'll DC think up next?
Oh, who knows?
I mean, they've already thought up a lot of it. It's just whether or not you remember it.
Or the execution is the problem.
There you go. It's like
Solve DC's problem.
There you go.
I just finished watching the second season of the animated Harley Quinn show, and it's actually pretty funny. They have Condiment King in it as a character, and he's just like shooting ketchup and mustard at people. And it's just like, why?
What the hell?
Yeah.
It's just interesting.
There was this one scene, I think, in the Lego Batman movie where the Joker's like rattling off all of these villains, and like they just get like crazier and crazier the farther down the list they go, and they're all real. Like the pilot, the character he's talking to is just like, are those sound made up? And he's like, nope, they're all real. Google it. And yeah, they're all real.
Huh.
Pretty crazy.
It's a crazy world.
How do you like not like keep up is the wrong word. How often do you do your episodes?
I do at least once a week.
Okay.
I'm toying around with when I want to release them. I've been releasing them on Saturdays, but I kind of want to play around with maybe doing Monday releases.
Okay.
Or, I mean, Friday might be okay, but Monday it might be easier so I can record on the weekends.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to figure out, a late night episode after work on a Friday. Like, I want to be fresh and everything. But yeah, at least once a week. Sometimes I'm trying to backlog, but I think once I get moved over and have the new studio and stuff, it might be easier to backlog. But yeah, once a week at least.
So this is where we can ask you some podcast questions.
Yeah.
Like about your podcast, not that we're on a podcast. Da-dum.
Did you just inception us?
Right?
Yeah.
Shit. Where's my totem?
No, we need the Wayne
right?
like
Let's
fourth
see
wall
here.
break. How do you what's your lead time from like record to air usually?
Like, how much time do I have, like, from when I record to when I air it?
Yeah.
Oh, so this is part where I do take something from Joe Rogan a little bit. And it's all just about putting episodes out. Yes, I do try to put it out on like a Saturday, but now obviously, like I said, changing it to like a Monday.
Mm-hmm.
But there's been times where I'm like, screw it. I'm literally just going to air. I finished it, edit. It's all good. I'm just going to publish it, whatever. Like, I'm just going to go.
Boosh.
Like, there's been times where I've posted it like at midnight and woke up and there was like some plays already. Because like I use Anchor, so you can check your demographic and where they live. A lot of it is California, but there's some overseas, which are different time zone.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I'm like, you know what, dude, I'm just going to drop this. It's so hard for me to sit on an episode. So it's going to be actually trying for myself to wait an entire weekend. Like if I record it
and you like feel really stoked about it and you're like,
Saturday,
man, I gotta put this out.
Yeah. Sometimes I just do it, like, and I'm not against, there's been times where I've put like 2 episodes out in a weekend, like a solo one and maybe a guest, or if it's 2 hot solo ones, I'll just put it out. Like, so it's kind of out there. Cause I know like there's, Joe Rogan, like he'll just put it out whenever, like he'll do it and put it out, rather than the podcasts. A lot of them that I listen to, it's every Tuesday or every Thursday, like without fail, just those days, no other, unless they do a random bonus one. But
I wonder how much Spotify paid him to be their exclusive.
Ooh.
Oh, no, the deal was, let's see here. I can look it up.
Let's learn about how much money you can make in the podcasting industry,
did
children.
Joe Rogan make from Spotify? $100 million.
Ooh. I guess that's why he moved or
Like,
got
is
to
that-
move
is that a
into
lump
like a
sum?
new studio
That was
space
probably
and
a
stuff.
signing bonus, and then he gets counts, like play counts.
He's also Joe Rogan.
Yep.
Let's see how much. I was Googling this like a couple months ago. Does Joe Rogan make from YouTube? So like, even if he didn't go to Spotify, he's still insanely loaded, literally just off of episodes. Like, not even talking about ads or anything. Like, I think he makes like, let's see here. Like 30 million a year off of YouTube.
Wow.
To literally
there's
just
somewhere,
sit and
I'm not
talk to
going to
people.
go down
Wow.
like in my phone because I don't want to do that, but there was a breakdown of how much a certain episode with a certain amount of views would make. It's insane. Like, it's gnarly.
he has a formula that he's figured out that works. He's got something that works and that not many people can replicate, and that's the Joe. It's Joe Rogan's formula for success. And that's
do
gonna be
DMT and let your
that's gonna
let
be
your friend talk
different.
about themselves.
that too. That too.
And
But I mean, he's also
something
had
that
a career doing other things before
Yeah.
the podcast. So
that definitely helped. But like, something I try and keep in mind, I mean, not just Joe Rogan's podcast, but other podcasters that, I think Joe's been doing his podcast for 10 to maybe 12 years or something like that. And others, that are reputable and like they make a good amount of money. Like, they've been doing it, upwards of 5 to like Joe, maybe 12 years. I'm just scratched the surface of being past like a month or two past 1 year. So it's like, I have so much time that I have to do before stuff happens. And of course I want the right now, right here. I want to start making the money, like start having a reputable podcast, hit charts, you know. It's going to be years and years before I see my podcast on a chart somewhere, you know, like, so sometimes I have to tell myself, it's like, hey, like, you got to put in the work. Like, yeah, you might get like an episode, like, with Elijah from Cane Hill is my top viewed episode by like 3 times the amount that,
dude, I would love to
like Alan
Elijah.
Ashby.
That dude seems like such a good time.
Yeah, he's good. He's definitely a good podcast. So it's just crazy. Like, yeah, I might have the ones that pop, but sometimes I have to just tell myself, like, hey, like, you gotta wait, you gotta put in the work, and like, it's gonna take a long time. So like, it sucks, but like, it kind of flies by pretty quick, because it's like, when you have an episode a week to look forward to, the months go by pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
but
shit.
Besides like all the business stuff, like, are you having fun doing it? Is it something that you like, you get up, like getting up to do photography? Is like this something that like you enjoy, you have fun doing, that this sort of doesn't feel like work to me sometimes? Yes, it's things, you know, getting set up and stuff, but after we start rolling and stuff, this doesn't feel like work anymore. This just feels like fun.
Yeah. Oh, I'm with you 100% on that. I absolutely love doing it. I don't think I would keep investing my money into all this shit, like, in more that I have to get.
Yeah.
Like,
so everyone listening, if you're not enjoying what you're doing and you're still doing it, fucking stop doing it. Go do something you enjoy.
Do you have any
that's my 2 cents.
I know you were fortunate to have friends in a band that popped off, but outside of your immediate circle, are there any guests you'd want to have on the show that like you just do anything to have on the show, like to pick their brain?
Oh, that's right, we're interviewing him now.
I know, right? This isn't just a conversation. We actually have questions.
Right? That's a good question. I'm sure once I get off this podcast, I'm going to think of 50. But like, one of my episodes I had, yeah. Oh, dude.
That's where the best thing gets done.
Note-taking. Yeah. You know, like I had, I mean, my hockey team is the San Jose Sharks. Love them. You know, ride or die. One of their broadcasters, on air, like television broadcasters, Brody Brazil, I just tweeted one day, I was like, it'd be cool to have Brody Brazil on my podcast. And he tweeted back, he's like, let's make it happen. And 2 days later, he was on it. So like, I would like to try and
check that off your list,
to more people with maybe the sports. What's that?
I said, check that off your list.
I know, right? But it was nerve-wracking because he does that for a living. And like, I was like, shit, but
now you have like shoes to live up to. You got to like,
I know,
put out a little bit.
I mean, it would be cool to have like maybe a comedian, whether it's a big time or whoever, even if it's just like someone I went to high school with and they're a comedian, you know, like, but also, dude, there's so many. Like, dude, even like a dog whisperer or some stupid like shit. I'm not calling a dog whisperer stupid, but like some random job. Like, I mean, I had my brother's friend on. He's a plumber. He was talking about plumber stories, which are great. So I don't know. I mean, one day I'll think of a person and then I'll forget. And the next day I'll think of someone else. And on the top of my head right now, I can't really think of anyone. I know there is, but like on the spot, I can't think of anyone. We were just brainstorming possible guests and grouped them by vocation earlier this morning. Cause like our thing has been identifying things as art and trying to create a wider variety of like what we consider art.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But a plumber, that sounds fascinating. Art of plumbing.
It was interesting. Yeah, he was telling me that I might have this backwards. This wife found out that his husband or her husband was cheating on her because he had to dig up the line or whatever, and she found like flushed condoms, and like they haven't had like sex in so long or whatever. So like she found condoms from another man in the sewage.
Holy shit.
Yeah. There are some other stories. I forget what episode it's on, but
bonkers.
It's good. We just got like a 12 case of beer and we just talked.
Mm-hmm. Like, do you do your episodes in person?
I've done a handful, mainly just close friends. Because I mean, right now, maybe one day if I get like an actual off-site studio and I can afford to fly people out and put them up, then hell yeah, I'll do more. But I think as of right now,
what are you talking
we'll
about?
pay for the plane tickets, but you can sleep on my couch.
Yeah, right. I mean, hey, but I would like to do more because it is nice to have that face-to-face interaction, not just like through a screen. It's just different. Eventually, I would like to do more.
Yeah, the one we're dropping Monday was an in-person interview.
In person, off the cuff.
It's the only one. We didn't have any questions prepared.
Plans.
Sometimes those are the best,
dude.
Though.
It turned out really good.
Sometimes those just rock.
Yeah, that one was really good. We got to interview the guy that did the music videos for Architects.
Okay, cool.
He was our first international guest. His name's Jeb. We talked for like 2.5 hours just about movies and cinematography, and
that new record slaps.
I still have mixed feelings about it. I've played it through a couple times.
It's different. It's more like, this is going to be a weird way to like describe it, but it's more like cinematic.
Yeah, it was
like,
definitely
it's almost
bigger
like they're trying to get
orchestral.
into a movie or something. I don't know. Like, it's not like this thrashy hardcore, like not like thrashy hardcore like the actual genre, but like how their old records, like I forget the name of it, but
All Our Gods is probably my favorite.
Yeah, they got some good bangers.
Yeah, Animals came out and I was really stoked for it, and then Dead Butterflies came out and I was like, okay, I can see what I braced myself. So like I figured they were gonna go a little bit different. Yeah, I really wanted to get it on vinyl, but it was a double LP, which means there's like 2 songs per side, and it's just not really.
That's weird.
I have trouble flipping records.
Right,
I don't want to
like,
get off my duff and flip a record.
Well, see, like, so if I ever want to like kind of just draw and not worry about being in contact, I'll put a record on and put my phone away. But if it's a double LP and I have to flip it more often, it just kind of like defeats the purpose of getting it to actually listen to it. So every time there have been times where like I've bought one not knowing it's a double. I'm like, oh,
shit,
that sucks.
You'd think it'd say that in the product information, but guess not.
They probably did, and I just didn't pay attention. Do you listen to music while you edit, or do you have to like be focused on what you're doing?
Oh, I crank that shit. I got my speaker right here. Oh yeah, crank shit. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I all the time on tour, no matter what. Like always, like especially if it's video, it's a different story.
Right.
But yeah, always cranking stuff. Like
are you a playlist or an album kind of person?
What's up?
Are you a playlist or an album kind of person?
Albums. Yeah, I just will go through an album. So there's some albums, I can't remember what albums they are, but there's been albums where I would be editing for hours and realize that like
it's already played through like 4 times.
3 times.
Do you have your top 5 albums from when you were a teenager, like off the top of your head, that you just have with you,
dude?
Always.
I mean, all Linkin Park.
Nice.
I was just listening to the
1000%,
the 20th anniversary edition.
So yeah, Linkin Park, Eminem, Limp Bizkit,
break stuff.
3 Doors Down. Like I don't know. That's on top of my head. That's all I can think of right now.
I had Nookie stuck in my head for like
so good.
2 days. It sucked. I did it all for the Nookie, just like on repeat, like at work. And I'm at work, and like I'd be typing something up, and just like every now and then it'd just be like, and it would just be running in the back of my head. And
so you don't. I'm not. This is a weird way to put or phrase this question. You don't like follow the music for the music's sake. You follow, whatever band you're going to photograph, because like you get to photograph a band, you get to do what you love to do. It's not so much a lot about what the music, like what music is being played, but your relationship to the band, and or does that mattered at one point? Like maybe that's what I'm trying to say. Did that matter at one point?
I don't think like didn't matter. But for example, like before I met Austin and like introduced him to Alan and
Mhm.
Started touring with them,
Mhm.
I would listen to A Mice and Men, Attack Attack,
Mhm.
but then once I started touring with them, I mean, I think when they put a new record out, I'll listen to it for a little bit,
Mhm.
but I don't think I really listen to any of the bands I tour with. Not because I don't like it. I love I love A Mice and Men's music
Right. Oh,
or
yeah.
Miss
Yeah.
Maya's music,
Yeah.
Nothing More slaps. It's great. But I don't really listen to it. Like, it's weird. Like, I mean, right now I'm listening to,
Because that's like always was my perception of musicians and like people that surround themselves with
yeah,
musicians and like go on tour with them and stuff like that, that they're like so involved with the music and they're so in depth with what
let's see
they,
here.
these like the music that they're supporting. But come to find out, that's not always the case. That
Yeah.
you're there supporting that band because you just enjoy doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that I think that's been a growing process for me. I think that's just kind of like my youthful um, blinders on, being like, you know, this music is sacrosanct and holy, and
hmm
you can't touch it. It's and everyone's about it. But you talk to bands like, no, I hated making that record, or
yeah.
like this
Yeah.
music sucks. Like I didn't like doing it, but I'm doing it anyway because I love doing what I do.
Yeah. Hmm. I mean,
My 2 cents.
yeah. Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. Makes sense.
So Limp Bizkit.
Right on.
Okay, we're back to Limp Bizkit. Okay,
Yeah,
all
there we go.
right, all right.
I wonder what shooting a Limp Bizkit show would be like.
Awesome.
Probably
I
nuts.
bet.
Is there anybody that you'd want to shoot that you haven't gotten to yet?
So band wise, I don't know. That's a good question.
Whoever pays me the most.
Well, there's that, but also like so a band that has like a really cool like set piece that you just like. I would love to use that in photos.
I don't know, but I would love to shoot like huge stars like Justin Bieber, Post Malone, like.
I'll bet a Posty show would be really cool to shoot.
Like, yeah, because I would love to do like some close up stuff with like his tattoos and stuff like that. But I just also think like
Too much.
But I don't know. Band wise, I can't really think of. Maybe Slipknot.
Ooh.
That'd be cool because there's just so much going on, like all the masks and stuff. So maybe off the top of my head right now, I'd say Slipknot.
Probably Slipknot.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That'd be a fun show.
So I think that's a fair answer.
Yeah, photograph and or do videography.
What if I was like, I think I'd like to photograph Nickelback, maybe. Well, yeah. I mean, it's.
I was gonna say, like, if they're tagging you in your pictures, talk about growth.
I mean, hey, if Nickelback, if you're listening and you want to hire me to take some photos, I'll do it. I'm a fan, a huge fan. I'll be your biggest fan. That sounds creepy as shit. So no,
this is your place to talk. So we're listening.
Yeah.
Start calling you Stan from here on out.
No.
I wrote you, Chad, and you still ain't calling.
Oh my
God.
He's such a Chad band that his name is actually Chad.
Is Chad? Yeah. Oh, that's great.
You know what? You may not like their music, but just give them the fact that they've made
slaps.
It. They've made it.
There's some bangers. I'll jam.
I'm not the biggest fan of Nickelback, but
you know
what?
I wonder if Dax Shepard and Chad have ever like swapped places and people haven't picked up on it.
That would be hilarious.
Like the whole like Will Ferrell and God, what's his name?
Chad.
Also Chad from
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, did you see the drum off with Will Ferrell and Chad from Chili Peppers?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Chad Kroeger guest spots on the Armchair podcast and nope.
Yes, Dax Shepard, yes.
Make it happen. Yeah, it's always really fun, like to meet people who have higher, even though they're at a place, like they always have something else that they're going for.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the words of Qui-Gon Jinn, there's always a bigger fish. You know,
shit.
So like
busting out them sayings.
Busting
out them sayings.
Yeah, we reference a lot of Jedi here on the podcast.
No, there was this one time. So we had a friend of ours who's like she's a designer, and Phil kept name dropping like albums.
Yeah,
and we had like, I don't know. I meant to put a ticket counter, like
we talked about like classic punk albums and punk songs and stuff that Nate doesn't know about.
I had no.
But then he just kept like name dropping Under Oath songs that I would know into the conversation. Then I was like, oh, yep.
And Caitlin had no idea. Just stood over her head.
She knows who Under Oath is.
Not on like a song basis. How do you like? I'm trying to figure out a way to phrase this question. So like you have, aspirations in like your video work, but you've already done so much. Like, how do you like weather that and kind of like still set goals as someone who's gotten to the place where you are? Like what's next?
I think it's, see, that's the thing. I think it's changed. I mean, of course, like, taking a step back from touring, who knows down the road, a year from now, who knows, maybe I'll do some more tours, or maybe just be a little bit more selective, or maybe just do 2 weeks at a time. But, with this move, of course I have to find new work. So hopefully, maybe I can get a job with a reputable company as like, getting an actual like paycheck I can live on. Yeah. Whether it's photography or video or graphic design or something like that.
Do you do all the designs for your Toddcast promotional material?
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'd say, I guess the goal would be to just find myself in an actual career that is sustainable, that like, if I have to work this job till I'm 40, it still pays the bills and it can pay for vacations and
401k must be nice.
Because I want kids when I'm older, like pay for, dog food and food for kids and clothes and all that stuff. So I'd say that's probably
food for kids.
Goal.
Yes. Dog food for
kids. I know the way as soon as I said that, I was like, shit, dude. Shit.
Hey, my kids don't know what's coming. So yeah.
Right. Hey,
Parent of the year right here.
They're not going to know.
No.
How will they know?
I love that audio clip.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw this one where like somebody was copy and pasting LUTs, and it was like, they're not going to know. It's like, they're going to know it. They're not going to know. And it's like,
they're not going to know.
They like edited a whole photo shoot with the same LUT.
That's great. That's awesome. Yeah.
We'll talk after. I don't know what you're referencing, but we'll talk after.
They're called lookup tables. It's a filter basically that you use in Lightroom. And there's like content creators that like, they take a photo and they edit it a certain way, and you can save those settings and apply it to like a picture.
This is my I'm listening face, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because I only deal with audio.
Hey man.
Auto-tune for Photoshop.
Oh, okay. Now we're speaking the same language. Got it.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good reference.
Do you have like a style you go for normally when you like do your edits? Or is it just like whatever the picture is, you kind of like figure out how to make that content pop the most?
I don't know.
You want to do it?
Do what?
Pop. Had to get that in there.
Oh, the magnitude.
Yes.
I don't know. I think it might change from like photo sets to photo sets.
Yeah.
I mean,
depending on the venue, like the light works differently.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know I don't know how I would describe my own style. I think that might be best for someone else to put their thoughts on it.
It's like giving yourself a nickname. You can't do it. Like somebody else has to impart that upon you.
Yeah. I mean, if I was to maybe on the spot say, I'm very into like film look, almost like like trying to maybe emulate like a 35 millimeter film.
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean,
now that's something sometimes I like educated on, is the difference a millimeter makes on the look. Could you dig into that a little bit?
Not really, because I don't know much about film. I have I think it's 8 millimeter camera, but I know the look is different. Yeah. I don't know how to explain it too well. The depth of field and the way the certain film looks. And then there's different kinds of film, like Kodak, Fiji. There's different kinds.
How that saturation.
If it's older. Yeah, there's the different films, the film speed. Yeah. So as far as the film, I don't know like too much about that, so I can't really speak on it. But as far as my style, I try and emulate kind of like the colors and stuff like that and the feel. But sometimes I'd like to go grungy as hell and throw like just scratches and all these different things and dark colors and weird shit, turn the hues all opposites, and then sometimes I like to have these very polished, like just skin is soft, and I don't know, it changes. But as far as my own style, besides saying that like I like the film look, I don't really know. I don't know how to really describe that. That's a good question.
Call your next project Dog Food for Kids.
Dog Food for Kids. Honestly, my next solo episode, I might call it Dog Food for Kids.
And then just make like a fake dog food bag,
Yeah.
or like Photoshop like a dog food bag, be like for kids.
Yeah.
That's my style, y'all.
It's a
dog food for the kids.
It's kid safe. So like when the kid like gets into the dog food,
kids safe, dog approved.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Reminds me of the Juicy Juice commercials. 100% juice, 100% kids.
Oh
You'll play right before Arthur.
Yes.
On PBS.
Kid beer for kids. Shout out Whitest Kids You Know.
It's like reminds me of do you watch Rick and Morty, Danny?
Yeah.
It's like the episode where they have like all of the different channels that they're like surfing through, and like some of them are just absolutely absurd.
Oh yeah.
That's our new goal, is Dan Harmon. That's our new goal.
Yo, that would be awesome.
That'd be cool. There you go.
You could do it. I believe you could do it.
Just tweet Dan Harmon, see if he gets back.
Danny, you probably could do it. You probably could get him on.
From one Dan to another.
I'd have to binge watch Rick and Morty, and then also Solar Opposites. Yeah, I watch both those. I'd have to binge watch them like 5 times before having him on, so I know everything.
I just watched it was an interview with him where he talked about like the viral Rick and Morty moments, and like what he thought about them, and how they came about. And most of the time it was just like, this is just something in the writer's room, and the fans loved it and just took off. Like the Get Swifty song, Justin, the voice for Rick, he just ad-libbed 4 or 5 songs that were on Summer's iPod in like the video game. And then Dan was just like, that we need to figure out. So they basically like backwards engineered that episode to be about that song because Justin just like ad-libbed this crazy Swifty song.
So maybe that's something you could look at. What are your fans like, or what have your fans really gravitated towards your stuff, and maybe play with that a bit. We don't have enough fans to like know what we love. Comments, please leave us a comment anywhere.
Drop
people.
them comments. But you guys have more of a specific like lane towards like different from like I guess what I'm doing. It's all over the place. It's not helping myself, but all over the place.
So like, have your fans like written you back and been like, "This was awesome. Do more of this," or
I've had some people like text me or something, or like on socials. So far, there's no like comments on like Apple yet, like the podcast app or whatever, which will come.
Well, I know Anchor. You can leave hosts voicemail messages. Still trying to get one of those for my other podcast. I'll leave you one.
I thought they changed it,
they did?
and I'll have to look into it.
No.
Originally, and I hope they change it because I actually paid. It's only $5 a month, but Skype, I bought a phone number, so I set up a voicemail. So far, I think I'm gonna cancel it because I don't have a big enough audience to where they want to leave a message yet, or just so far I haven't gotten anything. But with the Anchor thing, and like I said, I hope they changed it. I thought they did, but I checked recently that you had to like say you have Anchor and you want me to leave a message. I have to then make an account with Anchor.
That sucks.
So once I found that out, I took it off of my.
You can make that a Patreon tier. So like if someone subscribes to you on Patreon, that'll bump your monthly revenue up enough to get the paid subscription.
Yeah. Well, my Patreon's just going to be like bonus episodes all filmed. I already have 2 up there, and I already got some ideas. It's just a 1 tier. It's like $3 a month, like just enough for you to like forget that you're paying for it.
Nice.
That's the key.
Yeah.
That's how they get you. You forget
I'm
you're
excited
paying
for
it.
that. So, I mean, but that's something that like right now, like I think I had to pay like $85 for Vimeo. So I'm going to roll it out, see how it goes. Cause if a year goes by and I have no Patreons, I might just wait a couple years until I grow an audience and then bring it back. But just backlog all the videos that I'll film that no one watches. But yeah, I don't know.
I'll give you a call.
There's a lot to figure out.
I'll give you a call.
What's that?
Let's Get Punk. We'll give you a call.
That's his other
That's my other podcast
project where they talk about being punk.
Hell yeah.
Whatever that means.
Yeah.
Exactly. Whatever that means. Crack a beer, hang out with us. Let's Get Punk.
I'm down. Yeah.
Cool.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Let me just get in touch with my recording partner. Probably not.
Huh?
I'll ask her.
Okay.
But I will support. I will definitely support Danny's podcast.
It's a Toddcast.
Sorry, Toddcast. The Toddcast.
You should copyright Toddcast and have like a little trademark.
I had some people. I originally called it the Danny Todd podcast, and then I had like 4 people hit me up. One commented on one of my posts on like Facebook, and then one hit me up on a DM, and they're like, "Oh man, missed opportunity. You should have called it the Danny Toddcast." And I was like, immediately changed it, and someone I got mad because they thought that I stole their idea, but I was like, you're not the only one who gave me the idea. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna have to probably just trademark my thing just in case someone comes back and was like, that was my idea, bro, but it's my fucking name. All right.
You can't take my identity away from me, man.
I'm sure someone can if they have enough money.
Oh yeah, okay. No, that's.
But I don't know.
Yeah,
you got me there.
I remember being like
lawyer fees. Yeah, pass.
I remember being apprehensive of like Apple Pay when that was the first thing. I'm like, I don't want to put my card number on my phone. I'm like, they already have it. It's just one more hurdle for them.
Right. Yeah, I love how our parents are so against doing online or like at least mine is against online transactions and paying bills online. I'm like, all you have to do is just you set up your account to pay X, Y, and Z and hit a button, and they're all paid, and you don't have to waste stamps, waste paper, do all that shit. I don't know.
Well, yeah, my mom, I try and get my mom to have Venmo. So like if there's certain payments I need to make to her that like that are outstanding or something, or like I just need to pay her for something, it's like, Mom, now I have to go to the bank and pull out money. Can you please just get this? And just
or PayPal?
Like not into it.
PayPal.
Or PayPal. I'm like,
PayPal.
I know, but I don't know. Whatever.
PayPal's been around for how long? Since the 90s?
I don't know. Let's ask Elon.
Too long.
Been around since. Speaking of Elon Musk, did you guys hear about his company with the brain chips? They successfully got a
Neuralink?
Neuralink. They successfully got a monkey to play Pong with itself. Fuck. Here we go. People are talking about microchips and vaccines. Microchips you get planted in your brain because Elon Musk says you must.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about a podcast guest. Crazy. That would be wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
I've been in one of your cars. They're pretty cool.
Self-driving?
I have not.
Was it one of the self-driving
No,
ones?
It was not. It wasn't one of the self-driving upgraded models, but the whatever it could do blows my Subaru Crosstrek with eyesight away. Just thank God.
Those things are sick.
Thank God there's eyesight or whatever those security devices, because I would not have a car anymore because I'm a terrible driver. I'm a terrible driver. Terrible driver. Uber driver.
Well, Danny,
shut up.
we want to be respectful of your time, and I have to get back home.
Good, man.
But it's been awesome chatting about tour life and the rich and famous life of podcasters, and
it's glad to meet a
like.
fellow podcaster. This is awesome.
Yeah,
this has been really cool.
We haven't had any other podcasters on yet. I think Nate was planning on having one, or did he also have one?
I thought he was planning on having one, and we were like, "Hey, man, we'll get you. Like, since you're on, can we get on yours?" And haven't heard back yet. Hey, we should follow up.
So
Nate, if you're listening,
follow up.
if you have
Follow
any gaps in your schedule, Danny, I would love to split some beer and shoot
yeah,
the shit.
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to do something. I'm all for that. But yeah, thanks for having me. It's been fun. I don't even know how long we've been going.
Me either. I kind of lost track.
Nice. Hour 40.
Not bad.
Nice.
That's not bad. That's not
It's
bad.
a solid pod. It's a solid pod. Yeah. But yeah,
No,
thank you guys for having me, man.
Ooh, it's a solid Todd. Ooh,
A solid Todd.
we can
baby.
if you need what are these things, onomatopoeias, what are these called?
Like sound effects?
No, you take his name and make words out of them.
Anagrams?
No idea.
Anagrams. We're your guy. We're your anagram boys.
Thank you.
We'll have to figure out how to name this podcast episode a Toddcast, like just this one, and see what happens. Our first ever Toddcast.
It's a Shane Todd, or not Shane, Danny Toddcast. Fuck. Do you get confused with him a lot?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
Well, Shane also has a podcast.
Shane has a podcast. Oh
Yeah.
man. Oh God.
Great.
From Silverstein.
Oh, yeah. I have no idea.
It's all good. It's all good.
Everybody's doing a podcast.
Everybody has a podcast.
Yeah.
I saw this one meme. It was like when you turn 30, like you have one of four like pathways to take, and
I
one of
hated
them
when you sent that because that directly reflected my life.
one of them is being a podcaster. You either like
That's funny.
different identities. Is like one is like the craft brew guy, and the other one's like I'm going to start a podcast. So me and Phil were both felt attacked a little bit.
You felt attacked. I friggin' felt attacked. God. What is my life turning into? Okay, well.
If it hurts you, Phil, it hurts me too. So
yeah.
Anyway.
He's one day older than me.
And I'm never letting him
He's
forget
never
it.
letting me forget about it.
Oh, wow.
Anyway.
AS home.
Danny, it's been real.
Right on.
It's been real, man.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
How can people find out more about your photography and your podcasting? We'll post links in the description, but like
hit us up with the socials.
Just
somewhere
on Twitter
up
and
here.
Instagram.
Right. That's where it's gonna be. Up in the corners.
Wherever. I don't know where I'm gonna be, but it's somewhere. On Instagram and Twitter, it's Danny Todd. No website currently, working on that, but then the podcast, the Danny Toddcast, on everything.
So
talk about branding.
www.anchor/the Danny Toddcast or whatever platform you want.
I would just link it to Apple Music, the Apple Podcast.
Yeah, thanks Apple for now splitting everything into 5 different fucking apps.
I know.
Hey, Google
Apple
did it
TV, iTunes, podcast. Yeah, but yeah, I'd say. I mean, you can put Anchor, you can put whatever you want. You
is
can
the
put
Danny
Spotify, but my
Toddcast
main
taken?
thing
Like
is
.com?
Apple.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'll have to look that up. I have to buy that name though. But yeah, I would say just. I mean, it's everywhere you can get your podcasts. But if you want to link it to Apple and Apple,
go to Apple.
Podcast, you can do that. Yeah, just because that's where most of my, I think like maybe like 60% of the people that listen to my podcast, it's on Apple. So
sweet.
Yeah, we have it on Apple and Spotify and a website as well.
Google Podcast.
Word.
Everywhere you can find major podcasts.
Yeah, that's where it's at. That and Instagram and Twitter. It's Danny Todd.
Heck,
that's pretty much.
Do you have any pieces of advice for new Twitter users? I'm probably gonna have to get a Twitter for the.
No idea. I'm not great at Twitter. I pop in and I pop out, and sometimes I forget to pop in.
Hashtags.
Is that just the nature of it?
Hashtags, I guess. Yeah. I always, for my podcast, I don't know. I usually just do it to post random shit, which is what it's for, but it's not that consistent. I'm not consistent with it at all. So I'm the wrong person to ask for Twitter.
Yeah, you can't really Hootsuite tweets. That's kind of defeats the purpose.
I love Hootsuite. I had to do that for a place that I was working for. I was managing social media for a company called Rescue Water, and I'd use Hootsuite, and that stuff was amazing.
Do you use it for yourself?
No, I don't know. I don't think I need it. But
I mean, if you have the time to manually post, I think it comes across as more genuine.
That's the thing. So I don't think
all right then.
I think we're gonna wrap this up, guys. But
right on.
It's been real.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for listening. All our listeners out there in America, Europe, Asia, wherever.
Jeb, if you're listening, you're in the UK.
Yep.
Flex.
In the UK. Well, from Nate and myself, and Danny, thank you for listening today, everyone. You can find us on all the major social platforms. at Frame This Podcast. Check us out. Episode drops every 2 weeks. Stay hungry. And Nate,
stay creative.
Thanks everybody for listening. Take care. Bye-bye.